Welcome to the Ancient Cosmic Clock. Today we're going to discuss how each zodiac sign needs to be romanced.
Or would like to be romanced.
So why do we do this? What's so important about this subject?
Understanding people, understanding relationships.
Yeah, I think that adds a lot of value to be able to harmonize with other people, counterbalance wants and needs with others. And I think it's empowering for us to understand each other. So before going into all this, I want to go through the usual caveats, and that would be that when we're talking about the subject in relation to each sign, that this is going to be super accurate if we're talking about somebody that has heavy placements in that particular sign, or more particularly if somebody has Venus in a certain sign. This is how you would romance them better, because your Venus sign is more about how you like to be treated.
How you want to receive love.
Very well said. And then you should also consider the houses. If you can find the matching house to that zodiac sign, it can also really embody those themes and archetypes. So we know this is more nuanced than this may seem, but we're going to dive into it and go ahead and apply this information in its nuanced way. Should we start with Aries? How do we romance Aries? How does Aries want to be treated?
They like to fight. They like to play. The child of the zodiac.
Very, very good. Me, I have several Aries placements, and I remember when I was single and dating that, I thought it was funny to, if a woman invited me back to the apartment, I would be like, or the townhome, I would be like, hey, I have boxing gloves. Here, and I would run and grab the boxing gloves and be like, okay, I want you to try to hit me. I won't hit you back, but just see if you can try to hit me. And to me, that was the funnest date you could have, is the women trying to punch you. It was hilarious. They didn't find it funny though. They would swing and miss over and over again, and they would be gritting their teeth and growling and
frustrated.
Yeah. But I like fighting a lot. Aries, god of war, right? So rough play. How about that?
Yeah, it's fitting.
Attention. It is the I am of the zodiac. So giving an Aries attention.
Yep.
I remember getting lectured by my mom as a kid, and she's like, Brian, if you want attention, just come and say. Don't start fights with people. And so I would get bored, and I would go up to my mom, and we're talking a 4-year-old, 5-year-old. I'd be like, Mother, attention, please. So, anyways, attention is a good way. They may like to play the hero for the damsel in distress.
Oh, definitely.
So, any don'ts, any things to not do to an Aries?
Don't pick a fight. You'll probably lose. But wait a minute, you just said they like to fight.
On things that they don't like something to not do to them to win their hearts over. In that context.
Ignore them, only pay attention to yourself.
Yeah. Or being that, and I would add, don't be boring.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So if you can mix it up a little bit, I think that would be, if you're looking to win an Aries over, that's how you do it. Next, house 2 or Taurus. What are some do's for Taurus?
Give them things.
Oh, yep. We have a Taurus daughter, and she loves things.
Stuff. Oh my goodness.
You gotta let them move at their own speed. I would say that.
Yes. Give them plenty of time.
Patience, treating with patience, love, respect. Being reliable or dependable to them, I think would speak volumes to a Taurus.
True. Affection too. They seem to be very affectionate.
They are Venusians. They're Venus ruled.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep promises with them, build relationships of trust with them, a relationship of trust over time.
Absolutely.
It's one of the slower moving signs. So helping the person relax or enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind what season they're born into. Taurans are born into the middle of spring, one of the most beautiful times of year. And so think about them doing well, getting treated like that, like the theme or the energy of that season.
Flourishing.
Yeah.
Abundance.
Any things that you would say not to do to a Taurus?
Push them to move quickly. That annoys them very much. They might just like stop right where they're at, like a stubborn bull, and not move just because you're trying to get them to move faster.
Yeah. So, not to pick on my oldest son, but he's a Taurus. His mom would be like, "What do you do to like get that kid out of bed? Like, how did you get him to go to school?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I didn't pressure him. Like, I would like treat him nice, and then he'd be like, 'All right, Johnny, it's time to get up,' you know." And I would give him like a little bit of a wake up, but it was be soft and gentle, and then I would give him
plenty of time.
Give him plenty of time to kind of roll out of bed, and then it would be like, "All right," and I would play it off on me. I'd make it about me a little bit, like, "Hey, I please do this for me. I have to be to work. I can't be late to work. That would hurt me." And I would make it about, because I realized he loved me back, and so I would make it about, okay, this is going to damage me, and since they're more beings Venus-like, they'd be like, okay, I'm moving now, you know, and then it would work out. And so, anyways, don't push them. Don't try to control them. One other I'd add, don't lie to them.
Isn't that true of everybody?
True. I would put that a little more Taurus, though.
And Scorpios.
Yeah, they're on the same axis, though. So, anyway. Gemini, 3rd house. Any dues for Gemini?
Talk to them. Absolutely. Talk to them and listen to them.
Yep. You're close with a sister that's Gemini, and you guys talk a lot. Gemini, I would add humor to that. I would also be like thought-provoking and smart, witty. It's an air sign. It's thoughtful. It's about thought, smarts, wits, intelligence.
Humor.
Yeah.
All the Geminis I know seem to have very good memories, or a very good memory, and they do think about a lot of things.
Yeah, so if you can be brainy's probably a good word to describe with them.
Yeah.
Any don'ts with Gemini?
Don't be boring.
Okay, don't be boring. I wouldn't push them to commit. They don't like to commit.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I wouldn't be confrontational or aggressive with them. I don't think they're like that.
No, Geminis do not like confrontation. You're right.
Yeah, and they're square with Virgo, and Virgo can be very detailed and organized. I've seen Virgo and Gemini conflict a lot, and they may not like to do all the things that Virgo would have them do, for example. So, like, don't control Gemini. Don't try to pin them down. They're mutable air. They're the most, like, think of the most fast-moving, the most, like, changing, ever-changing, ever being mutating, right? So, trying to pin them down, control them. Yeah, I would leave that alone with a Gemini in a relationship.
Yeah. And be aware that they will have a tendency to change, to want to probably learn new things, explore new things. Don't expect them to stay the same, because that is not their flow.
Yeah, like if you expect somebody just to be something and to never change whatsoever, that's Gemini is not the choice. If you like somebody ever changing, ever evolving, Gemini's the choice. I find Gemini some of the best friends, the funnest to hang out with, so never laugh so much. We both like Geminis tons.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Cancer, 4th house. Any dues to win over Cancer? Or to
nurture them?
Yeah, they are the mother of the Zodiac, and they say you give what you want back. So I think that's very fitting. Unconditional love, I would add into that.
Yep.
I say they're the sign of unconditional love, so for me, I think that's a big one. With nurture, I would add in massages. Like, they may be a little more touchy-feely, They're a water sign
Oh yeah.
that's more sexual in nature,
Mhm.
more intimate. So I would say intimacy. I would help them feel safe. If you're looking to win one over, how can you help them feel safe? Okay, any don'ts about Cancer? What would you not do to them? Don't force them to leave the house.
That's true. They can be homebodies. Can be, not always. It depends on their mix, but yeah.
I wouldn't talk down to them. So their opposite of the zodiac is Capricorn, and where Capricorn is the father of the zodiac, and the father is more out to correct a little bit. It may be a sign that you don't want to lay in really hard and correct, and that's why they would go historically better with like Pisces. Pisces is like one of the kindest when it comes to how to address somebody that they felt like's wronged them. They'll say it in a soft way, and so I would treat them with that softness in return. Not that Cancers can't get tough mama bear because it's the mother of the zodiac,
Right.
but I would not be super harsh. I would put that as a absolutely do not go overly harsh on them.
It might make them a little moody.
Yeah.
Close up.
Leo the lion, 5th house. What are some do's for Leo?
Make passionate love to them.
They are the embodiment of love. That wasn't on my list, but that's a good one. Words of affirmation, I would say.
Definitely. Tell them how beautiful they are.
Yeah,
all the time, every day.
There are people on like forums to learn astrology, and people are complaining about Leo, like looking for a compliment. Hey, look at my hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people are all like complaining about them, and people are just like, dude, take the 2 seconds, compliment them, and they will go on their way. Like it doesn't take much from you. Just give it to them.
I think it was the Leos that were saying, yeah, it takes like a whopping 2 seconds to validate me.
So I would put words of affirmation. I would put acknowledging. I would put flirting with them.
Definitely flirting.
Like Aries, I would say give attention and listen well. Like be attentive.
Uh-huh.
They're the ones on center stage.
They will entertain you if you let them. Maybe even if you don't. They will be the center of attention.
What's really fun is when you get Scorpio and Leo mixed. Not always appropriate, but entertaining. Any don'ts for Leo?
Don't insult them.
Yeah, I would definitely go with that. I said I would be careful with your words. I've seen like, especially even with like Leo sons, I've seen people like go to say something, and even if something wasn't intended, I've seen the Leo be like, "What did you say?"
Or if they misheard.
Yeah.
What somebody said.
Yeah. So sometimes they'll be like, "What did you say?" Like they're not gonna let it go. Like they're the embodiment of fire. They're the fixed fire that stays there. It stays burning. And most people, if you're sarcastic, you joke, you jab. Like Leo's not necessarily the one to jab, because they're gonna hold that fire there, and they're gonna be like,
they're not gonna let it go. They will make drama out of it.
Yeah. So be prepared. So they're the least likely to let that go.
Yep.
I would say don't ignore them or give them the silent treatment. I think I guess some people would be like, well, if I'm going to punish them, I know how to get them. You know what I mean?
Geez.
But like, if you're looking at like winning that person over, helping that person feel loved, that would be the thing not to do. Any last ones?
Do's or don'ts?
Yeah, either one.
Or affection too. I would say cuddles, lots of touching.
Yeah, I could see the physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
They rule the heart, so keep that in mind. Keep in the mind what parts of the body that they represent, and this may sound inappropriate to say, but like, if you know their astrology, their placements, those parts of the body may want more attention if you're looking at physical touch.
Like the heart?
Yeah, like touching somebody's heart or chest, you know what I mean? Putting your hand on there. They have Aries placements, maybe putting your hands through their hair. Just maybe something to consider like that. You have a Taurus, maybe massage their neck a little bit more, you know, because it's the neck or the shoulders. So anyways, just something to consider, something to experiment on. Virgo, 6th house. Any advice on how to win a Virgo over?
Let them have their routine and don't disrupt it.
Yeah, I've talked to Virgos about this. They don't necessarily are hardcore with having to set a schedule, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody's like imposing the schedule on them, because they're a second decan sign,
mm-hmm.
they're more about the other person. As long as the other person's not blowing up their plans or what they had planned or what they were looking forward to, they're a little more like, oh, that's mine. I don't want that changed. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that. It doesn't mean that they're detailed in the way that that they're making checklists every day. That's probably a misperception.
It totally depends on the placement. I know people who have Virgo placements that absolutely love to write lists.
There are some, and I would agree.
Like
it depends on their placement.
Yeah, they're so big on writing the list. Doesn't always mean they're good at following it, depending on, you know, like if they're a Gemini sun, we'll say. But they might love writing lists if they have, like, you know, a moon in Gemini.
Right, but I would say
or a moon in Virgo, I mean.
Fair. I would say be reliable, be dependable for them, though. So if you promise something, you keep it. Like if you were going to go on vacation with them, do it. Don't change it. And like if there was something that you got bad news, or you think that something was going to go a wrong way, let them know ahead of time. Have talks with them. Have like open communication. They're ruled by Mercury. I would add in good communication with them.
Absolutely.
If you have worries that something is going to go south, let them know ahead of time.
Well, because life does happen. And so sometimes you do have to change plans. It's ideal for a Virgo to have a heads up if plans have to be changed.
Yeah. I would give them quality time, for one. I would be like proper with them, clean, pure, try to live a good life, not be sketchy. Okay, any don'ts with Virgo? We've talked about the bad surprises, nuking the schedule, nuking the plans. Unreliability, I'd add.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be too wild with them.
Don't change.
Yeah. Like where Gemini would be more changing, Virgo would
do much better with, like, say, a Taurus.
Yeah. Another thing I would add about Virgo, if you're willing to do routine things with them, like that you just do every day with them. You go for a walk every day with them. You have a certain conversation at lunch every day with them. Like those kind of things can really help Virgo flourish.
Yeah, like they may want to go over the budget frequently.
Yeah, you have your weekly budget meeting with them. You have your... Anyways, good behavior with a Virgo. Libra, 7th house. Any dues?
Keep the peace.
Keep the peace. Be fair and balanced with them.
Absolutely. Yes.
Be a helper to them.
Oh, yeah. Be kind.
Yep. Be smart. Be peaceful. Mm-hmm. Conversation. They would get along good with Gemini. I think they would like some form of communication. It may not be as strong as Gemini, but...
It's another air sign, so they definitely rule over thought.
Yeah. Anything's not to do to Libra.
Fight with them.
Okay.
Be mean. Disturb the peace.
In my notes, I had excessive anger.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Don't insult them, I said.
Well, they might dish it. You know, they're kind of the mirror, so they might do it back.
Yeah.
If you do that.
I would not...
They may bring balance and justice to any insults that are sent their way.
I would not show overly big ego to them. I put that on the don't list.
Oh,
If you're trying to
yeah.
win them over, oh, I'm the best. Oh, that may not be the way to win them over.
No, definitely not.
And a way I would explain that is a more of an astrotheological explanation. So the sun, when it hits the constellation Libra, it's gone to equilibrium, where it exalts in Aries, and Aries is the ego. It's the opposite of the ego. So where the sun is exalted in its opposite sign, Aries, it's its fall. It falls. The darkness overcomes the light when it hits in Libra. Therefore, it's kind of the energy of putting out the ego. It holds that opposite side of the paradox.
Definitely.
Think of it as like the sun setting that day. Think of it as the nighttime. It's the time for to put the ego, the sun, away.
The beautiful sunset, the peaceful dusk.
And that's the symbol of Libra. Is basically that you see the two lines with the sun. It's the symbol of the sunset. I wouldn't be lazy with them. I wouldn't be selfish with them. Those are the don'ts I got. Hey, Scorpio, 8th house. Any do's?
Have sex with them. A lot.
I would add intimacies on my list. Depth. I would give them depth. I think they're one of the deepest signs.
They are. So they're definitely going to want you to not keep secrets from them. They're going to want to know other people's secrets. They may not want their secrets exposed, but they're going to want to know the hidden things, the secrets. Oftentimes they're very interested in the occult world and the taboo.
Yeah. All the things that aren't appropriate they're interested in. I put on my list, be inappropriate with them.
So if we were talking about a Venus in Scorpio, what would you say? How would you romance a Venus in Scorpio?
Yeah, like intimacy would be good. Gossip with them. I think they'll like gossip. Super deep. Find out secrets. That's the same thing. I think they may like you to be a little bit kink or inappropriate. I would share with them. They like being shared with. So they're the have-nots of the zodiac. And Taurus is the have. So they have more interest in what's other people's stuff sometimes. So if you have something, be free with it. Don'ts. Any don'ts with Scorpio? You said some of them already.
No, don't lie to them.
Don't lie. Don't be fake. They'll see through it.
Oh, yeah. They're the person that's generally watching everyone else and seeing through a lot of things and noticing nuances that a lot of other signs do not notice.
Yeah, I think
they're incredibly observant.
I think Scorpio would be the best spy of the zodiac.
Yeah, they rule over precision too. So oftentimes they're very precise and accurate.
Yeah, I know this is like for all the zodiacs, but this is the biggest one you'd put on Scorpio on the do nots, and that would be no cheating. Do not cheat on them ever.
Yeah. They will kill you. Just kidding. They do rule over death. They would definitely at least think about it.
Sagittarius, 9th house. Any do's for them?
Take them on vacations.
Vacation would be good. Share in their excitement. They get excited.
Oh, that's true. They do. And they may be interested, if they're interested in a certain subject, whether it's religion or the sciences, talk with them about their passions, the things that they're interested in learning.
Yeah, this sign can have more depth. Like it's the excitable, like fun, bouncy one of the more bouncy ones out of the zodiac. But it also can have a depth. It's going to want to go a little deeper than Gemini. So a little bit deeper level of like conversation. If you have conversation, be ready to go to the highest highs. You know, it's the arrow. The arrow goes high. But in speaking of that, the arrow goes low. So Sagittarius can be the most energetic, and then at other times it can be the least energetic out of all the signs. So I would say be supportive of those high and lows if you're looking at...
Just recognize that they'll come.
Yeah. And so I would be supportive. and kind of fully embrace them, you know?
Don't make them mad.
Yeah. Oh, on don'ts, we're going to go notes. That is one of the big ones for me on them. Don't provoke, make mad. Don't mock. So, I've seen Sagittarius, heavy placements of Sag, where when they get mad, they explode bigger than all the other ones. I've seen like group chats where somebody with heavy placements, the Sag blows up and everybody's like, oh, we don't want you here anymore. And it doesn't matter. Sag was the funnest one in there. But then Sag sometimes gets uninvited because when they get mad, sometimes they go...
It's the hottest of all the fire.
Yeah, I call it the blue flame. And if you look at the fire, Aries is the outer edge, the outer red part of the fire. And Leo's the inner yellow part of the fire, the part of the fire that stays consistent, the inner
orange,
fire.
Yeah.
Yellowish orange. And then we call Sag the blue flame. And it's the hottest burning part of the fire. So, yeah. Enjoy the heat when it comes to Sag. Sag is one of my favorite alignments, so I also, since it's immutable, don't try to control it. Don't try to control the fire. That would be another do not for Capricorn 10th house, the goat of the zodiac, the father. I would say be excellent. They would like and love excellency.
Yep.
Be consistent, kind of like with Taurus. Be goal driven. Like, be supportive of their goals, too.
Yep. Don't be lazy.
Okay, we're jumping to don'ts.
Sorry.
A couple last ones on do's. Listen to constructive criticism.
Because they will give it.
And I think that the heart of Capricorn, the heart of the father of the zodiac, is for everybody to be better, to make the world a better place. And they may not see it as criticism as much as they're clearing the rocks on the path up to the mountain. We're all going to go up to the top of the mountain and we're going to triumph together. So we're getting the rocks out of the way.
Their words of criticism would be considered constructive criticism.
Yes. So I would say to their faces, I'm like, you guys are trailblazers when I'm giving a read to a Capricorn, and they seem to like that. They like being called trailblazers, not the critical people of the zodiac. And so working with them towards a better future, I think, is a really good do for like winning them over, helping them feel loved. Also, I'd be prudent and reliable, dependable, not be wasteful. You know, the dad works hard for a living, doesn't want people wasting everything away that he or she worked for, you know? Yep. Don'ts, I would say, don't be lazy, don't be inconsistent, don't be unreliable, don't cry.
Don't get in their way, too. Like, if they're making forward movement or progress, they don't want to go backwards.
Yeah. I don't think they like to get bossed either.
No, they want to be the boss. They don't want to get bossed around.
Yeah, try not to boss them around. Try not to...
Yeah.
Okay, Aquarius 11th house. I probably should go first, huh, on this one?
Sure.
Behave properly. Act properly.
Mm-hmm.
Do what's right. Give service.
Definitely a big one.
Work hard. Be open to new ideas in your conversations with them.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Jana here is an Aquarius, if you can tell. Think big. They think big. Think big with them.
Yep. Or at least allow them to think big.
How about make the world a better place?
Definitely. Humanitarianism. That's a big one. Be a contribution to them, to the family, to society.
Yep. Be a good listener. Kindness.
Yes. And let them be weird, for heaven's sake. If they want to believe in aliens, let them believe in aliens.
Any don'ts?
Don't smash their open-mindedness.
Yeah. I put don't be overly dramatic to them.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
They're opposites Leo, so
yeah, they're not gonna love drama.
yeah, and I said don't be stubborn with your own concepts.
Yeah, I mean, Aquarians can have their own fair share of stubbornness with their own concepts.
That's true. It may lead to butting heads.
Yep.
So in considering that, an Aquarius is fixed thought. They're somebody that would have thought about that a long time. So don't be just so quick to dismiss something that they put a lot of time in.
Yeah, something that they really thought about.
All right, last one, Pisces 12th house. I put be kind to them. Like Cancer, I put massages. Like, because they're that.
Oh yeah, Pisces, I would definitely say physical affection.
I'd have fun with them. I'd be open with them. I think they would be one that thrived with intimacy, more intimacy.
Definitely. Another water sign.
Venus exalts in Pisces. Therefore, they exalt when it comes to romance. Therefore, I would make sure to have good connectivity with them, like good romance. Like think like Leo when it comes to them.
Well, and they may be the dreamer, the one that wants to, sit down and imagine or create your future together. They may be artistic and creative and soft and sweet and express themselves. They may also be, emotional. They may want, somebody a shoulder to cry on.
So support all that.
Yeah.
So you brought up like they're daydreamers. I would say help them fulfill those dreams as a way to like win them over. They often have Aries alignments. So with them being a dreamer and possibly picking up the child of the Zodiac alignments, sometimes maybe being playful with them. That would be something to experiment on.
Yeah, and if they have Aries placements, they may have the motivation and the drive to fulfill their own dreams. Not saying that you wouldn't want to support them, because you would.
They exalt when it comes to romance, but sometimes don't speak the best, depending on their placements. So I put on a read between the lines. They're the abstract. They're the subconscious mind. They're the dream state. If you can be observant to their body language, and this is why I think Scorpio makes a really good match with Pisces, is because Scorpio and Cancer, for example, the other water signs are going to be a little more attentive, a little more connected to their emotions. And they may have stronger, powerful emotions versus communication. So if you can be intuitive and kind of read between the lines, it can make a better, stronger connection.
Yeah, and be patient, because they may have a tendency to ramble or kind of communicate the same thing over and over again, kind of going in circles.
Yeah, and so I would kind of cap everything off there on the do's, would let them be themselves, though. Let them be who they are,
Yep.
Any don'ts with Pisces? But don't be controlling with them.
Yeah, I don't think they would like that. I mean, I don't know anybody that would like that.
I wouldn't be bossy. I wouldn't be rigid. So
don't be rigid.
So
I don't think they would like the harsh. They're a softer sign. They're not going to like that harsh.
Yeah. So they're like the right brain of the Zodiac. Virgo's like the left brain of the Zodiac. So keep in mind, be more right brained with them. Not as rigid left brain. Like there can only be one way. Because the Virgin is pure. It's going to do it one way. It usually holds the archetype of purity. And oftentimes the people that think in a pure way, they think of okay, this is going to be the best way, which is fine. There's a place for that. But the Pisces is the opposite. They may want to look at doing things a different, unconventional way. They may be driving down the road and there may be a routine way to go where Virgo knows, hey, this other way's shorter. But a Pisces may just feel that they shouldn't go down that way right then. And Pisces is just a little more that way. So you got to make allowances for them to sometimes do the thing that's not the most Virgo logical, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Or they just might want to take the scenic route.
Very true. They may want to just enjoy it. I wouldn't demand chores with them really hard. That would be a don't I would with Pisces. I would not try to take it to them and put hard chores on them, or a lot. I also would not demand that they prove something. If they may sense something, and they may not be able to prove it, and see that gift in them, and instead of just dismiss them. Like Virgo is once again, we're contrasting it with the opposite. Virgo is about proving it. It's about like putting in order, like verifying. So anyways,
but Pisces being that it's a more spiritual sign, may just feel something and have no explanation.
Yeah, so that's kind of a wrap. Let us know in the comments if we were right or if we need to make any adjustments there. We appreciate our community. We appreciate all of your guys' thoughts. We love your feedback. Let us know if this helps or if you want anything else like this.
And if your Venus is in any one of these signs and you want to talk about you, we'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on that as well.